Hey coin collectors and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today I'm going to talk about the 1963 Roosevelt dime from the United States. This of course is the one that is silver. So if we tip it up on its edge, we will see this silver going all the way through. And this also, because it's 1963, means the mint mark will be on the back. And we kind of know what the mint mark will be generally when we see one like this because we know it's a proof coin. But remember, in 1963, proof coins were made at the Philadelphia Mint, so no mint mark on the back for a Philadelphia proof coin from 1963. How about this one here? What do we got? There's a D right there for Denver. You can see the D right next to the torch. And then over here we can see there's no mint mark on this one. So here's a Philadelphia regular, Denver regular, and then here is a Philadelphia proof coin. Now, there are a number of ways that you can counterfeit or fake these, and I'm going to talk specifically about one of the ways that Numismatic Guarantee Corporation has found that people are faking these. And there's an article from 2020 that talks about how some people will go in and actually recut the bands so you can get a full bands version. And you can see when you look at this one here, you can't see the lines going down very well, and there's two bands going across here and two here that you also can't see very well. But if you get over here to this proof coin, you can see exactly how these bands look and how they have great definition. Unfortunately, in a proof coin, you're not going to get a whole lot of money out of it. The highest value right now for graded proof coin is probably somewhere around $225, $250. Once in a while you get one worth more than that. But if you got this Denver Mint coin right here, and you got this up to a full bands version with the lines and everything, and you'd have to have some pretty good starting material, of course. You couldn't do it on this one. You could be talking about $4,000. And if you got the Philadelphia one up to a full bands version, you could be talking about $6,500 or more dollars, which they've paid, which has been paid for a Mint State 67 plus. Let's take a look at that Numismatic Guarantee Company article in Coin Week from December 2020. So this is the article from Coin Week, and you can see that the article was actually submitted by NGC, or Numismatic Guarantee Company. It shows somebody with an X-Acto knife actually working on a dime. It probably didn't happen exactly like that, but they just wanted to make their point. And then when you get down, you see that they show some dimes that have been altered and changed up quite a bit. And then if you get even further down, you see that they talk specifically about this one right here. And this one right here, what they've done is they've taken it and taken this line across. But what they didn't do was do it evenly. So this side over here is actually wider than this side, and they've done it as at a bit of a slant. And so some really sharp evaluator or grader at NGC saw that line going across and said, hey, wait a second, what's going on here? And then they started to re-examine a lot of these dimes, or examine more closely a lot of these dimes they were grading as full bands. All right, let's get back to our dime. Okay, so that's how you could fake it. What you would do is you just take it and try to cut new lines in it. You'd have to have a pretty good coin to do that. And you may only make 50 or $100 doing it, but some people may feel that that's worth their time. So be very careful when you're buying a 63 or any kind of older dime that's supposed to have full bands on it. Make sure you check the bands. Another way that they do it is they take the proof coins and dumb them down or dull them down a little bit. You can't mistake these two coins. This is clearly a proof coin. This is clearly a regular circulating or business strike version, as they call it. And never the twain shall meet. But if you take this and get it to get a little bit of coloring on it, sometimes you might be able to try to sell one of these with all the bands on the back as a full bands version. And some I've seen them in selling for the hundreds of dollars when I know it's a proof coin by looking at it, but not everybody will know that. So be very careful also. If you get a coin that's in really good shape, even if it has the regular bands on it, it could be a proof coin masquerading as a regular Philadelphia coin if it's from 1964 or before, because they made the proof coins at the Philadelphia Mint. All right, let's talk about how many they made. In 1963, Philadelphia made 126.5 million. They're 90% silver, 10% copper. A Mint State 65 only goes for about $24, but a Mint State 67 Plus, they've graded two of them so far at PCGS. Those go for about $6,500. It's a 2.5 gram coin, so it's a small coin. You tip it up on the edge and you can always tell that it's a silver. We get it onto the back and you see it says United States of America. E pluribus unum across the middle here, 1 dime here, and of course right down here to the left of the torch looking at it is where the mint mark would be. At the Denver Mint, they made over 3 times as many. They made 421 million. So 421 million versus 123 at Philadelphia. There are some full bands versions. They go for as much as $4,000, but it turns out that the best Denver coins going for around $6,500 are 2 MS68 or Mint State 68s that aren't full bands. Because they had so few full bands, collectors find a Mint State 68, which is in just incredible shape, and they were willing to pay $6,500 for those. Now, what's the big deal with these 1963 dimes? Well, what happened was in early 1960, the economy started booming. And when the economy started booming, there wasn't enough change. People still bought a lot of stuff with change in 1961, 1962, and 1963. You couldn't get a loaf of bread, but you could come pretty close with a quarter. And you could certainly get a couple candy bars for a dime, a couple nickel candy bars. So there were things you could get, a soda, probably somewhere between 5 and 10 cents. So a lot of people were spending dimes. There weren't enough coins out there. And so the U.S. Mint and the Treasury Department said, people need to quit hoarding these dimes, and we're going to double our production. So the 1963 dime production was almost twice as much as the 1962. And then in 1964, they just minted as many as they possibly could. Not just the dimes, but the quarters and nickels, the half dollars, and the pennies. So we just went from having a coin shortage to having a lot of coins minted, but it still wasn't enough. And so in 1965, they decided we're going to just take the mint marks right off the coins. From 1965, 1966, and 1967, dimes not only have no silver in them, but they have no mint marks on them because the U.S. Treasury and the U.S. Mint did not want you to hoard or keep these dimes at home. So here's one of those 1965 dimes, and you can see it right here. This one's in really, really good condition. You could get it in 2 different ways. You could get it just as a regular dime or a circulating business strike, or you could buy something that was called a special mint set, and those ones would look a lot better, but they didn't make many of them. And then when you tip this dime up on its side, you can see that clearly this has the copper in the center. And then if we tip it over, we see that this one has some okay bands on it. This is almost as good as you're going to get for 1965, because what they did was they just tried to push them out as quickly as they could and make their value no more than a dime if possible, so people didn't hoard them or collect them. All right, let's get back to our dimes. The other problem was when they went from silver in 1964 to the clad dimes, people started taking all the silver ones out of circulation and hoarded even more. So from 1965 to 1967, they said, we're going to make the coins so the collectors don't even want them. We're not going to put mint marks on them. We're going to produce so many, and we're not going to do good quality on them. That's how we'll keep people from hoarding them. All right, well, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Take a look for these dimes out there. You'll almost never see them in circulation anymore, but you may see them in your grandfather's or father's or great aunt's coin collection. And if you do, tip them up on the side and see if you got any silver there, or look at the date on the front, because these are worth about $2 just in silver alone, and it's hard to buy one of these, even a used one, for much under $3 to $4. All right, have a great day from DC Coin World. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.